Welcome back to Random Awesome Meg. I am Meg, and we are still working on 1001 movies. Today is number 35 out of 1001, which is called October, also known as 10 Days That Shook the World. IMDb gave this a 7.4. I gave it a 5.4. And basically, what it is about is overthrowing the monarchy. This will probably be a shorter video, and you'll see why in a second. It's a very historical movie. And I guess I just clearly don't have a lot of knowledge of history because I had the same thing happen with Napoleon. So I did a little bit of research, aka just kind of looking at IMDb real quick to get like a rough idea of what was going on. So this is the same director who did Strike, which is a movie that there's no YouTube video for, but I did an Instagram review of that you can find at Random Awesome Meg. And I also was not a fan of that one. He seems to do a lot of propaganda films. Seems to be the main thing he does. I think these are the only two that he did that are on from his list. I think after this he really doesn't do a whole lot of films. So here is the bare bones of October. It is focusing on 1917 in Russia, where the monarchy is overthrowing. So the Romanov monarchy they are trying to overthrow due to him not being a great leader, and then continuing in World War One. And so the movie is about these small victories that this political party called the Bolsheviks are having. And the Bolsheviks are a political party that slowly evolved due to Lenin with the main goal of the workers taking over, or the Soviets. And so when Lenin is supposed to get arrested, things start going a little wild and things start kind of rising up. And the big thing that happens at the end of the movie, which is where it gets a little bit better in my opinion, is a note is given to the military in order to warn of the takeover and to try to get to a truce, but the military doesn't really take it seriously. So the palace is stormed, and then all of the monarchy and its family is killed, and there is now quote unquote peace in Russia. So thoughts. I think the director worked very hard to give context before the 10 days. So a lot of that is like Lenin is in exile, then he comes back. And I feel like it's probably, for at least from an outside viewer who doesn't know a lot of Russia's history, a little bit of too much context, if that's fair to say. Which, again, I don't have a ton of historical knowledge, and it did make me feel a little bit better of when I asked somebody, and I was like, hey, this movie is about the Bolsheviks overthrowing the monarchy. They just gave me a blank. I was like, okay, great. So you don't know what it's about either. And they were like, no, I have no clue what that's about. Obviously, it's a lot more depth than what I gave, but I feel like that's just the best summary I can give without like us going into the weeds, being here for 30 minutes, being like, okay, this is what the Bolsheviks are about. This is why they're fighting. Da 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 da. I think the best solution for this is, I know it's made in Russia, so obviously the people watching it in Russia at the time know exactly what's going on. But watching this, almost 100 years later, I don't know what's going on, and so I feel like somebody should maybe update this and just have a quick couple of like dialogue cards explaining like, oh, hey, here's what's going on. And you're not just watching the 10 days, you're watching like a couple months before it. And then it's not really the 10 days, it's just kind of like the last one where they overthrow. Part of the problem also is probably that I went into this blind, which is how I'm going through most of the films. I did, when I first started doing this and getting ready for it last year, at the end of last year, I went through because I did edit the list a little bit. I went through and like took away some, and so I did read all the plots, but obviously it's been months and I can't remember. So going in blind is also probably not the best. Like if you're like, oh hey, I want to focus on watching propaganda films, or oh hey, I want to focus on watching history films, go for it. Watch it. You'll probably really really like it. But I thought it was boring and I had no clue what was going on until the end. So it is not for me. And the next movie we will be talking about on Friday is The Crowd. So I will talk to you then. Bye.